You walk into a tiny coffee shop with a notebook and a single polite question. When was the last time paying with your phone felt awkward? 15 minutes later, the barista has sketched a story about laggy terminals, fumbling for signal, and an angry line behind her. That moment is product gold. We'll spend the next few minutes turning chats like this into full-blown insight, because understanding customers is the first superpower of every great product manager. First, why start with empathy? Stanford D School's research shows teams that front-load empathy launch products with measurably higher adoption and satisfaction. Its empathy planner is literally lesson 1 in every design thinking bootcamp. The cognitive science is clear. When you ground ideas in real human stories, your brain flags them as important and you remember them longer. Exactly what cross-functional teams need when features start to sprawl. Now we'll talk about the core tools in your field kit. The classic trio is interviews, surveys, and observation. Interviews dig for emotion. Ask for a specific recent event. Tell me about the last time the checkout button failed, and keep probing until you hit the moment of pain. Observation, sitting beside users or watching screen recordings, catches gaps they forgot to mention. Surveys scale the pattern finding, but only after you've heard enough stories to know which hypotheses to test. Bob Mosta, co-creator of the Jobs to be Done framework, calls this the detective phase, sniffing the moments when customers fire an old habit and hire a new solution. Speaking of jobs to be done, let's zoom in on that next. JTBD flips the script from who the user is to what job they're hiring the product to do. Intercom popularized the job story template. When and chow, I want to, so I can tell. Replace the blanks with the barista's tale, and suddenly you have a crisp requirement for instant, offline-friendly transactions. The beauty is focus. Instead of bloating the roadmap with nice-to-haves, you ship the smallest thing that nails the core job. Now we bring personas back into the picture. Nielsen Norman Group defines a persona as a fictional yet realistic snapshot, combining behaviors, goals, and pain points to make segments memorable. Think of a persona as the cast list that keeps the JTBD movie relatable. For our payment app, we might have speed-obsessed Sam, a cafe worker who values reliability over fancy rewards. Good personas are evidence-based, not committee inventions. They roll up patterns you heard in interviews and saw in journey maps. That leads us to empathy maps and customer journey mapping. An empathy map lays out what a user says, thinks, does, and feels. Dave Gray's updated canvas is a go-to because it forces the team to capture silent emotions like anxiety or relief. A journey map threads those emotions across time: discovery, onboarding, daily use, renewal. Netflix famously mapped its sign-up and first-week journey. By smoothing a jarring device activation step, it boosted completion rates and kept more users for month 2. Journey maps reveal friction you can't spot from raw analytics alone, like the panic when a password reset email lands in spam. Let's anchor all this with a real success story. Airbnb's early growth hit a ceiling until user research revealed that blurry host photos tanked trust. The team launched a free professional photography program. Bookings in New York tripled almost overnight. That win started with empathy interviews. Why didn't you book? Validated by observation, hosts snapping dark iPhone pics, and synthesized into a persona, skeptical traveler, who wouldn't commit without great visuals. One pain point, one insight, outsized impact. Now a hypothetical. Imagine your PM for FocusFlow, a browser extension for neurodiverse students. Interviews uncover a doom scroll reflex when study timers end. JTBD tells you the job is, when my timer finishes, I want a gentle nudge into the next task so I can stay in flow. Your empathy map highlights the anxiety spike at session end, and your persona, goal-driven Grace, reminds the team that frantic alarms break her concentration. Result? You design a soft, color fade notification instead of a buzzer, and retention jumps 10%. So why does all this work? Because data without stories is ignored. Stories without data are anecdotes, but data plus stories drive decisions. Empathy gives stakeholders a human face, JTBD keeps scope disciplined, and journey maps surface moments worth fixing first. Together, they anchor every roadmap debate in the only perspective that matters: the users. Your action checklist. Schedule 5 depth interviews this week. Summarize each with a quick empathy map. Cluster patterns into 2 personas. Write a single job story per persona. Sanity check them with a lightweight journey sketch. Do that, and every sprint planning session becomes a customer advocacy meeting, not a feature tug of war.